Game time, round one. I'm excited. Crazy card today. Wanted to pop in here. I know it's been a little bit of time since the Dynamic Disc opened, and I know this video is coming out slightly late, but I want to chronicle my whole experience from this event. My next event that I might reference after this has already been played, and so the video on that will be coming out sometime soon, as well as practice rounds and some other really fun, crazy rounds where I had the first of the year finally. But that crazy card that I'm talking about, because I didn't actually get a lot of footage of them because I was a little nervous, was playing with Isaac Robinson, Brody Smith, and Paul Ulibarri. Uli becoming kind of one of my favorite pros to play with. I'm hoping I can get around with him at some time just to pick his brain, because he had a lot of good insights for me, being that I'm so early on in my career and knowing that it's weird because it's such a public facing beginning of a career when I'm still not great at disc golf yet, at least at an elite level. But I'm excited to bring you through this whole week because I was able to grow a lot, learn a lot, and overcome some things that I wasn't expecting to be able to do. But for now, I hope you enjoy my vlog from the Dynamic Disc Open, my second ever Rio Pro Tour event. Coming back in here to say you should still subscribe because this thrill that we threw with Eagle Week Band will be given away at 40,000 subscribers. And while you're down there, go ahead and like the video. You can unlike it later if you don't like it, actually. Alright, made it to the practice area. It's a little windier over here than by the Airbnb. Gotta figure out maybe if I should add a second MV in the bag, a more stable one, just maybe for some up shots in the wind. I don't throw it much, but it could be nice to have. So just warm up the body today. And I really have to remember today, it's not possible for me to be behind, with my expectations being having positive mental game, learning from this experience, and hopefully having one good round this weekend. Finishing expectation is kind of mid-cash, or mid-missed cash. So I can't be behind, you know, like if I'm only par, it's so boring. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta push for birdies. Nope, take them as they come, try to capitalize, and try to live in the headspace of getting to score rather than needing to score. Hopefully I can get out of my own head today. No caddies. Think I do better without it. See if that's true or not. Maybe my wife will be on the bag another couple days, but for now. 1 hour out. MV's not going in. Too similar to the zone. Would add a little confusion. So I did find a tempo though. So hopefully we can get it back to the owner before they tee. Might go play a couple warm-up holes at Hammond Park and then get to the course. Good news, I did just kind of think about something with my forehand that I think will help, but it might be hard because I've been thinking about it literally 35 minutes before I tee off. But I've noticed I keep dropping my elbow, and now I'm just keeping my elbow in the same arm slot that I'm going to throw in, and they're coming out so clean. I don't know what the problem is. So try not to think about that too much, but there's definitely some forehands on this course, and that could be helpful for me today to just make sure I get them out clean. They don't have to go far, they just have to be clean. It's gonna be awesome. They put out a net that's my size. Seven over through 9. Gross. No birdies. With a double. And today's a learning day. And there's 2 sitters just outside the bullseye. But the goal for the rest of the round, I think, is 10 good shots between the par 3s and 4s, maybe including like other circle putts, but I don't care how I score, just 10 good shots. That's the goal. I feel like I'm like 950 rated right now. Maybe it is the case. I know there's learning to happen, but just sucks to be living in the dumps. Hopefully we can snag a couple birdies on the back. Got a birdie, but only counting 1 good shot, maybe 2 with the putt. Long walk back to the car with another bogey. 3 putted from 30 feet, kind of fluffed up, shot a little bit much, and I'm 7 over. It's like 960 rated or something. It's really bad. And again, past 100th place. It's hard when you start out so poorly and you realize you can't salvage a good round, and I need to figure out how to work through these feelings. So luckily I was able to talk with Paul a little bit, and Yuli kind of relayed to me how his first year on tour was just so bad, and how so much of it, like the experience that people talk about, is just like learning how to deal with your feelings. Don't worry about the score, don't worry about anything. Learn how to deal with the feelings. I think I rushed a lot of shots instead of sitting with my feelings, trying to work through them and execute good shots. I pulled a bunch of putts to the right at the end of the round, unfortunately. I had a lot of bad wind reads. I feel like I know mostly what my discs are doing, but very unfortunate finish for me. 7 up. Could have been 5, and that would have been 89th place. So I'm only a couple, I think I'm 6 strokes from where my goal score is. And that's achievable out here for sure. Some limit out here. It's like sucks that, like, there are people who come out and like just perform amazingly. But those are the people that you hear about. The majority of the people are the ones that come out and don't perform amazingly. I wish I would be the one who would come out and be very good, but it's not the case for me, I guess. It'll just take a little bit of time, and I feel different than I felt that way. I didn't like shank as many shots. I threw a lot more good shots, but I just couldn't put together good shot after good shot. I would throw 1 good shot, and then I just couldn't follow it up. I do think I'm gonna have my wife on the bag though, because I don't think it's a caddy issue. Pretty cool. No matter how I finish, it's at least cool that we're here. Good thing is, well, kind of good. I'm playing so early today. I'm playing 1040. Second to earliest card out for the MPO, because they're doing threesomes. I would have been on the earliest if they were doing foursomes. Playing with Jacob Curtis, Cupcake, and Paul Kranz. Luckily, there's only 3 of us, so it should go relatively quickly. I'm trying a couple new things today. And one, my wife's coming with me, so she's gonna be my caddy, which is gonna be a blast. This whole year has been really, really odd. And one thing that very specifically, like chemically, has changed for me this year is like taking Adderall to help my ADHD. Every other tournament before this year, I didn't, because I didn't know I wasn't diagnosed. And now that I have it, I've been taking my medicine every morning. And I don't think that like that's the main problem. It doesn't hurt to like try things, because one of the things that it does is it fixes my hyperfixation, and you want to be able to focus when you're playing. So like hyperfocus may be helpful. I'm not quite sure. So we'll try that today. I'll be able to get home and then turn on the beginning of coverage. So that's fun. I'm not out of reach for the goals that I set for myself for the tournament, which were kind of middle of the non-caching. I think I'm about 6 strokes out of that, and that's something that can be made up over a couple rounds. Today's just gonna be about playing bogey free, playing smart golf, trying to make the putts as I can. The only problem is the wind is basically, it's gonna be mostly windy during my round, and then it's gonna stop being windy later. Luckily, that means that the people who I'm like fighting for to get to the middle of the missed cache, or maybe somehow getting to last cache if I play really well, those people are also playing mostly in those conditions. Lead card FPO, let's go. Luckily, we shouldn't get backed up today. First shot of the day. Yeah. Is it gonna be going? No, he never needs a warm up. Jeez. Shot Cupcake.
No warm up, baby.
From Westminster, Colorado, Anthony Bodanza.
And just like that, what is more than likely the smallest card in the history of the Disc Golf Pro Tour was off on hole 1. If you don't know the course too much, that's alright. We'll talk through some of these holes. We're not allowed to actually show the full round. I think you can't just do play-by-play for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. There I was debating between throwing a mid and a fairway driver. I decided on the fairway, even though the distance was reachable by both, mostly because it was a relatively windy day as you saw, and that left to right could definitely push almost any mid out into the road. Ended up almost running it for eagle. Cupcake makes a really good putt from circle 2, and I'm luckily able to cash in for a birdie on hole 1, getting some redemption from the bogey that I took on the first day. That was arguably the worst shot that whole seen that did not go out of bounds. Unfortunately, all 3 of us threw really bad shots on this hole, so I had a really long upshot on a 470-foot downhill par 3. I don't give it the trust that it deserves. I end up just throwing it a little too low and a little too hyzered, end up pitching up and tapping this in for a bogey, which brings me back to even for the round. I didn't necessarily have a score goal for this round. I would love to shoot close to even par because I knew that was around 1,000 rated, but here on hole number 5, yeah, I'm looking at the sign now, I throw my Metal Flake Emperor, which is my straight one. I really only had 3 or 4 distance drivers in the bag for this whole entire weekend. So scared. Here's Paul about to throw a really nice shot right up the middle. Cupcake also threw a good one on this one. And I needed some redemption because the first day I think I took a 6 on this hole in front of, as I told you, some of my idols in the disc golf world. The really good news about how this round is starting is I'm actually making birdie. Hole 7 is a really tight, low ceiling gap. I end up throwing my Roman out of it like I did every day, but today the wind was different than days 1 and 3, so it got lifted up and is in a pretty bad spot. Just watch this from Cupcake though. He throws a forehand. He told me later he's aiming out to the left out wide because you are teeing from OB. This is the gap he just hit.
How do you even hit this?
Here! This one! I didn't know it just fit through there.
No, but like it's kind of weird because this first tree, like it shouldn't allow it to go through.
Paul's also going to step up and throw a very similar shot to what I threw. We actually wind up in very similar locations, and this is a lie that I was stuck with. When I get in these lies sometimes, some of my thoughts are just about the stabilities of the disc. So instead of throwing what I probably wanted to if I had a run-up, which would be my slightly more stable Emperor, I threw my Ibland one, which was the flippiest distance driver that I was carrying, just because I knew that even though it was a right to left, if I hit it pretty hard and with a neutral to nose down angle, I would get a little bit of flex and not go OB left. This is a bad decision, and I did this a bunch of times this week, putting some putts that I probably should have laid up.
All right, we got a little backup because they're down there changing out the baskets for us. Also got 2 stupid bogeys. I don't know what that you saw, but I had 3 putt from 13 feet. 13 feet, 15 feet, 13 feet.
So yeah, after I 3-putted from basically being in the bullseye, I stepped up to hole 13, hoping to throw a really good shot, let some anger out. Unfortunately, I kind of shank it inside a little bit and get super lucky because there's hazard all along this inside, and you can see that yellow flag. I'm just outside of it, and so I have this just edges circle look for the 3. I think this might be the first circle 2 putt that I made the whole tournament. My putter had not been on. You know, when you don't practice putting for a while, it takes a little bit more than 10 days of practice to be good at putting again, especially in a tournament setting. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that on this hole because hole 16, my play is to try to throw it to the back wall and lay up. If I'm closer, maybe I think about running the putt. But I'm very happy because today I actually winded up long enough that I could lay it up, because in the first day I was 20 feet and I knew I should have putted, but I was in 2 minds, and so I dunked it off the cage. Still took a 3 though, so 3 and 3 on that hole. I'm pretty happy.
May the 4th. Let's go. What a good spotter.
Broken.
Yeah?
Yep. Threw my baby in the water. My heart sank when I threw it. I knew it was straight in the water.
I know we haven't talked about score much, but I'm actually 1 under going into hole 18. Played the back 9 with 1 bogey and a bunch of pars after being 2 under on the front 9. I was a little bit afraid of how that tee shot went, but I had the same forehand that I'd done a lot of practice on, and I was between my Firebird and my cap wrap. The wind was blowing right to left, and the second I released my Firebird, I realized I had just turned it a little too much that the wind could get under it. It ends up staying OB. Then Cupcake goes for the eagle. Crosses the water with a really beautiful shot, giving himself an edge of circle look. I step up with that same Firebird, knowing that I could easily just cross the water, but I'm a little bit afraid of either going OB long or afraid of taking a bad score because I really wanted an under par round. So my throw skips off the water.
What a lucky guy. Really bad shot back there.
I do give it a somewhat bid, but it's low the whole way. Tap in a bogey, so I'm even par to finish my round.
Nice finish. How you feel?
I honestly felt like I shredded this place, and then this place also shredded me. A lot of birdies, a lot of bows. You just need to buckle down and par. If I did that all yesterday and today, I'd probably be in first place by a million. But I like to
Same with you?
Yeah, definitely. I play boring disc golf.
Hey, tell them what you got today.
Yeah, I got a birdie for the first time this event.
You got more than 1 too.
I got 4.
Let's go.
4 times more than yesterday.
Good round, guys. Pleasure.
Morning. It's final day. Packing up so that when we get back, we can drive back to Denver because next tournament, the 3 Open, starts Thursday. Playing that, trying to figure out content schedule for when I'm doing these things, and just hard to manage making a lot of videos. Keeping up with you guys, doing all the stuff here, meeting up with my friends, having time to myself and time to play. But I think really focusing on the content side of things for me will be helpful. It'll even be helpful for the competitive side because it'll take a lot of my focus off of just that as my main thing. And I was talking with my wife, treating the competitive side of this more as like a hobby of trying to become a pro, whereas my job is the content, where it's still, some of it is towards that getting to become a pro, but making sure that all that is done so I don't have to stress about it at all. And then kind of like hobby work, which is like most of my free time, working on trying to become a pro disc golfer through training, through working on my game, through form stuff, and practice. And then these tournaments, that like lowers the level of pressure I have on myself anyways to a level that's probably more commensurate with where I'm like legitimately at, which right now seems to still be like that like low level pro, like 970, 980 rated. Who knows? I shot 960, shot 1,004. Hopefully today we can shoot a really good round. We just gotta make some putts. I missed so many putts the last couple of rounds. Been a good week though. I'm excited to play today. It's rainy this morning. The crazy thing is the rain is just supposed to be from like right now, which is an hour before my round, to like right as my round ends. So unfortunately, all the good players who are going to have the good scores are going to impact my ratings. Are going to be playing after. But the good news is the people I'm competing with to try to take my like 75th place, which is kind of where I'm wanting to end up, which is middle of missed cash. Those will all be playing in the same conditions. So if I can have a positive mindset towards it, I'm going to try to find a rain jacket here. And if I can go out there and shoot one of the best rain rounds, I should be able to move up in the placements from the people that I'm playing against. Can throw if I need to, but clearance, $16. Should work for today. $10 minutes for the round. Let's go, baby. Back at it again with the Paul.
Anthony Bodanza.
Today we had the same wind as the first day, so I'm going to be throwing my Conqueror instead of that Emperor, because I noticed not only on that first day shot where I went OB that Cole recorded, but also on hole 8 on a different day, that Emperor is just much more glidey than this Conqueror, even though they're both very overstable. So I knew that even though I threw this one a little inside, it'd have the chance to check up against the wind, and it did. I decided then to throw my Emperor because I wanted that little bit of extra glide, but there was that headwind left to right, so it shouldn't get too far left. And it put me in a good spot. I'm not exactly sure how far I am because I still don't have a rangefinder actually. I think I'm probably about 430 or so. And I knew if I threw this same Emperor, the really overstable one, flat to slight hyzer close to over the road, it wouldn't really have a chance to go OB because I'm not turning it over against the wind and the wind would get under the flight plate. And I actually ended up throwing a better shot than I thought. I wasn't sure if it was going to be safe or not because that spotter took a long time to get the green. So I went and looked down the hill, but it wound up being 28 feet inside the circle. I was very nervous stepping up to this putt, and I think you could tell. I just say, oh my gosh. But I'm confident stepping up to this one, and I make the putt, just doesn't stay in. It's one of those that kind of goes straight vertical and spits straight through almost all the chains. Could have hit it more dead center and it would have stayed, but that's on me. Moving out to hole number 7 now. I think I'm 1 over par. I'm not 100% sure, but I pitch up to here after throwing that one OB. And so I'm trying to throw under these branches with my A2, but the wind is coming from the left to right. I leave it a little bit nose up. It gets under the flight plate, pushes it into those branches. I can't convert on the circle 2 look, but I am able to make the comebacker into the headwind. This weather's getting crazy. I just said I didn't want to be here, but now I'm saying I'm going to boogie out. I got no choice but to be here. 3 over, just took another bogey for 53 feet. I made 3 like nice circle 2 putts today. I still miss, I think I might have made more circle 2s than I missed circle 1s, which is a win, but yeah, 9 holes left. If I can get 3 down through these 9. So that became the new goal. And stepping on to hole 10, I just wanted to throw smooth shots. I wasn't too worried about footwork because my footwork's actually gotten much better. And that one I piked and I thought it was absolutely perfect. End up a little bit behind this tree, so I'm throwing a mid-range instead of a simple putter for the distance, just to make sure that I get that standstill all the way up there, but I still leave it a little bit short. My putter hasn't been terrible today. I've been slowing it down a little bit and trying to be more methodical. Paulie boy just threw it out of bounds, except this stake loves him.
Oh boy, that was bad.
Shout out Dynamic Discs. Paul threw really good out here. I ended up kicking some stuff, was in circle 2, missed that putt, took a par. I ended up parking the next hole for birdie, hard hole 13, and on hole 14 I made birdie, but Colton Montgomery, who I was playing with, threw a bomb drive and had a look for the 3. Drying his hands. Still drying, oh maybe the disc too, so just drying the hands and the disc. And then he puts the towel back in the roller, forgets to close the top. Okay. Lining it up. Looks back at the roller, realizes he forgot to close the top, but he knows he can still bump. He did it. And he throws a beauty. Ooh, baby!
Oh yeah.
Nice shot, Golden. Alright, the next 3 holes we get to just watch League Card FPO finish their playoff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's go. What a eagle, dude. Ready? I love seeing that. One day I'd love to play not early enough to see it though.
Yeah.
After waiting on the playoff and seeing that all go down, on hole 15, I was standing on the tee knowing that I had just got myself back to even par with 4 holes to play. Unfortunately, there was that right to left wind, and I just did not feel confident with that shot, so I ended up throwing it into this early tree. Luckily, don't kick OB, pitch up my zone, and I'm going to be able to tap in a par. Hole 16, I knew I was just playing for a par. If I can get on the island all 3 days, I would be absolutely stoked, and I'm throwing my Pioneer. Very similar wind to the first day, a little bit of left to right head, and that Pioneer is the one that I picked up, used just for this hole. End up throwing a beauty of a shot, and it's actually very similar to the first day, where I land a little bit close to the basket and know that today I should run it. My putting's felt better. Let's see if we can actually get a birdie and somehow shoot under par on this hole for the weekend. Especially knowing that on hole 18, which I thought I'd be 3 down for the weekend, I was already 2 over and hoping not to add to that tally. Really, really happy to have put in that birdie. I was so scared, but hole 17 I take a par. Hole 18, I'd love to get to 2 down. Knowing that that would move me into a really good spot, I was looking at the standings to see kind of where I'd be, and I knew that with a par here or a birdie, I would probably be better than 70th place, which I was really stoked with. I threw my stable Emperor because there was that head left to right. End up safe, like I say, and I'm just going to pitch up this Firebird, hopefully not throw it out of bounds like I did the second day. An unfortunate ground play there.
No, skip it.
Got not short it like yesterday. Throw what I think is a really nice shot. Ends up being pretty close to actually running the basket, and I just threw it a little bit long. Would have loved to have put it closer to the basket because I'm just outside the circle, but the putters felt good. I like the way that one came out of my hands, but now I'm looking at another 30-footer, not wanting to do the same thing that I did the first day and take a birdogey, lining up the putt, taking all my time, and throw a smooth putt at the basket. I watched the putter tumble to the ground with my hopes of shooting an under par round at DDO. In the moment, I was really kicking myself for not laying up, but why would I lay up a putt when I'm in 75th place or something like that? This round was 10-11 rated, which I'm super stoked on. Definitely something to build off of. Unfortunate that I wasn't able to get under par, but I was able to reach my goal of being top 75 at a Pro Tour event. The next one, which will hopefully be Portland Open, we'll see if we can improve upon that. Overall, this was a blast of a week to be able to hang out with friends, meet a lot of you guys, and honestly, the bad disc golf helped me to get to the root of what disc golf is, which is fun, competitive, and a lifelong endeavor. I'm not going to be where I want to be immediately. And sometimes that is a hard reality because I'm someone who really likes to get places as fast as I possibly can. But with a sport like disc golf, a golf-based sport, it's going to take a little bit of time, especially when you're trying to compete at the most elite level in the game. I'm hopeful that it's not another 3+ years, but my journey in this channel will be around even if it takes longer than that.